On lynching and racial oppression, how white violence denies black innocence. Vintage editorial cartoon about voting. The practice of lynching was originally used against British loyalists. But after the Civil War it became a way of brutally suppressing the rights and agency of African American citizens. We speak with ASU Professor Ursula Orr about her book, Lynching, Violence, Rhetoric, American Identity, and the Continuing Reality of Racial Injustice. Orr traces the ways in which the practice and the language of violence are embedded in American identity, and how that affects citizens, specifically ex-slaves, Native Americans, and other people of color. Systemic Emasculation, A History of American Institutional Affects on Black Male Dysfunction 1700–1950. The physical mistreatment and subjugation of the Negro people during slavery and a different but equally malicious form of institutional racism in the decades since their emancipation have systemically distorted the psychology of black males and the people in general, such that, as stated by Carter G. Woodson in the Mis-Education of the Negro, when you control a man's thinking you do not have to worry about his actions. You do not have to tell him not to stand here or go yonder. He will find his proper place and will stay in it. You do not need to send him to the back door. He will go without being told. In fact, if there is no back door, he will cut one. For his special benefit. His education makes it necessary. 9. This unit is designed for high school juniors and seniors in an African American Studies course and explores the nature of the institutionalized structures, policies, agendas and practices from 1700–1950 which conspired against black males and effectively undermined black manhood. The nature of these systemic processes will be analyzed within their historical context and the psychological and psychiatric implications unveiled to facilitate a rich and deep understanding of the scope, sequence and consequences of the educational malpractice, broadly defined, experienced by African males from the Atlantic slave trade to the post-Reconstruction/pre-civil rights era. Students will be expected to identify, evaluate and explain relevant facts in the experience of black males through their historical journey to and through America which have contributed to historical and current black male dysfunction.